Hey there, everybody. It's Andrew Mitchem here at the Forex Trading Coach. Welcome along to the Eightcap Trade Zone live session number 7. Awesome to be here. And for those of you who are here live today, please use the comments page that you'll see on here, or the comments tab, and type in, let me know where you're coming from and how your trading's going. And for those people who then get to watch this on recording, you can also use the comments page on YouTube as well. Don't forget to have a look at the previous 6 sessions that we've done. If you have not already seen those, there's some really good trades on there. And yeah, we're getting some great feedback from the trade setups and the technical analysis that we're sharing. So this is number 7. We have number 8 on this Wednesday, and then number 9 and 10 next Monday and next Wednesday. So that is the agenda for the next 30 minutes or so. We're going to be covering, to start with, a daily trade and then some weekly trades. I've taken 3 weekly chart trades this week. Then I want to cover the monthly chart trades that I still have open, most of them, and I've been talking about these on all the sessions so far. And then we'll cover last week's weekly chart trades, which if you were following those, they had some outstanding success, which is really, really good to see. We'll have a look at the Eightcap the client portal login and look at their calendar as well. So that's what we've got to cover. And as mentioned, type in questions and any trades you'd like me to look at, any charts you'd like me to look at. I'm more than happy to do them live here for you. So first trade I would like to cover today is a daily chart trade on the Euro Canadian dollar today. Now, in the end, I did not take this trade due to there being an opening gap. But when I was going through the market before the market actually opened, going through the charts, I identified this as a suitable trade for today based off the daily charts and based off the way that I trade and my trading strategy. So let me just explain what it is I was looking at the time. So on the Euro Canadian, you'll have seen there's been this quite large uptrend through since about the 10th of February. Really good uptrend here. And then we had a pullback. Now, with this pullback, I always like to see if there's a reason why the pullback might be stalling. And I love the use of round numbers and the middle Bollinger Band, because that to me gives a pullback for a reason that it could be stalling. And what we see in here is around the 145 area, the 1.45 level. So last week, this is the candle from last Wednesday. Good, strong pullback. On Thursday, we then had complete indecision. This completely, basically the candle's gone all the way up, all the way down, and closed about the same level. And then Friday's candle pretty much went straight up and closed fairly strongly as well. So by the close of Friday, this was a nice, good, strong, bullish engulfing bar. The engulfing bar, because the body is engulfing the previous candle's body. The stochastics were fairly low and rising. I was very happy with everything I was seeing on this trade, ready to enter one position at the market and then one position back here at the pivot point. And then the profit target is up here at my R3 level for today, resistance 3, which is before the upper Bollinger Band and before the swing high. So everything was really quite good about this setup. The downside is we saw this relatively large opening gap up here. The market gapped up about 25 pips on the open today. And since then, it's now pulled back. So here we are live right now at pretty much at the Friday close. The other thing also, while we're looking at this chart, when I refer to this swing high, or this large uptrend starting, notice here how this double bottom was exactly at this low from back here on the 6th of January. So not only was that a low, it was at the exact same support level, and therefore, because that was the 6th of January, it's at the low for this year. So really good, strong buying area up through here. And as you saw, the price went up. It then had the indecision, the pullback with more indecision. Then I was looking for it to continue up. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite a trade. If this had not been a first candle of the week, and therefore if there had not been an opening gap up, I would be taking this trade as a buy trade for today. As mentioned, unfortunately, due to that gap, I've not taken it. The three trades I have taken today so far, though, are all on the on the weekly charts for today. And the first one to share with you is the Swiss franc Japanese yen. I think this is a very, very nice, strong bearish candle. And more recently, we've had this pullback here. And then we had a retracement, which then stalled, kind of an N-shaped pattern going on here. Certainly a trend line break from this low here, which is the 15th of January low. So you take your swing lows up through here and all the way through there's a perfect uptrend. And now last week's weekly candle closed back below that uptrend. It closed through the middle Bollinger Band and it closed very strongly, as in like very bearish. So everything about this setup was looking nice. To add to that, what we also had a couple of weeks prior, or the week before that, was this beautiful hidden negative divergence signal, which is a continuation pattern. That means the stochastics are getting higher as the highs in the price have got lower. So that occurred on last week's open, and then we've had this week's week just open here, and this is my setup candle. So what I'm looking for on here is a retracement back towards this 144 area just below there. And I'm then looking for my profit target. My profit target is just above the 138.50 area. So that gives me a really good reward to risk on this trade. If it gets in and it gets filled, that trade will give me pretty much around a, let's call that in there, 540 pips there. And the stop loss is going to be about 100 and nearly 150. So what's that? 1, 2, 3. That's getting close. That's probably about a 3.5, 3.6 to 1 reward to risk trade if the price retraces first and gets me filled. I'm also taking a market order with a different stop loss as well. My stop loss on the market order will be above 144, being the round number. So my reward to risk is generally lower on my market order. That gives me in here, my stop loss is in here. That gives me about 190 pips there. And the profit target would be in here, about 360. So what's that? It's pretty much almost a 2 to 1 on the market order and about a 3.6 to 1 on the retracement order. So I think that's a really nice trade, looking for this to continue back down. The second weekly chart trade I have is the US Singapore dollar. Now, if we look at this bigger picture, you can see that from this pin bar here, which is back on the 25th of September, the US Singapore dollar has had a massive drop. You know, going from this high up here, it's fallen all the way through here, about 1,400 pips, let's say roughly. And it's done that in pretty much a straight line over about 18 to 20 weeks. And then we form this new swing low. Again, look at round numbers. See how close this was to the 130 level. The price then pulled back. And then 2 weeks ago, we had this pin bar with a new swing high. Last week, which is just closed last Friday, we then had effectively an engulfing bar. It's not shown as an engulfing bar because there was a gap down, but pretty much that's an engulfing candle. And so therefore, what I'm looking at now is bigger picture downtrend, pullback. Notice it's come back to the middle Bollinger Band. It's also come back to this series of lows through here as well. Lots and lots of lows. Bear in mind, these are weekly charts. Lots of lows there to use as an entry and stop loss protection for today as well. And also lots of lows here back into sort of February, March, April of last year, which has formed this high area. So now we're getting our N shape that we look for. If we take a trend line from that swing low, you'll notice up through here, we have broken that trend line also. And we have a very strong close to the candle last week with the candle closing near the low or pretty much at the low, which is fantastic. Stochastics high and falling. And also on the candle here, now 3 weeks ago, 3 bars ago, we had the hidden negative divergence. Stochastics getting massively higher, highs in the price getting a little bit lower. That's what I'm looking for to suggest the overall downtrend is likely to continue after the pullback. So again, I think this is a very high quality trade. My retracement entry hasn't quite filled yet, but it's getting close. And bear in mind, we're only, some 8 hours into the new week. I'm looking for this to retrace slightly further and then drop. And the third trade is, and we're really lucky with the likes of Eightcap that you can have these sort of more exotic pairs like the US Thai baht. Now, I remember not too many years ago, we couldn't trade things like US Thai or things like Singapore yen or Mexican yen. We just couldn't do it. So we've got to take advantage of brokers like Eightcap that offer so much more now. Really tight spreads on these pairs as well, considering these are quite exotic pairs. But as a technical trader, I'd love the ability to scan through these different pairs. I'm no longer do I need to just look at the Euro US, the Pound US, the Aussie US, the Euro Yen, the US Yen. Yes, I look at those. Of course I do. If they show the technical setup, I'm definitely taking them. But as a technical trader, I love the ability now to look through so many more currency pairs, and on MT5, so many more time frame charts. Just gives us so much in terms of flexibility and options to be really selective with our high quality, like A-grade trade setups. So let's have a look at this one. This is that US Thai baht that I've talked about. And although there was a slight gap down last week, I'm calling this still an engulfing candle of last week. It closed really strongly, like near the low of itself. It closed just below the 34 level. And if you take this into the bigger picture perspective, since this high area up around here, around September of October of last year, 2022, we've had this big sell-off here, massive drop. And then we've seen a retracement. And now we've had this kind of N shape here. Again, we've had a trend line break. And now I'm looking for the downtrend to continue. So main downtrend, pullback, looking for that downtrend to continue. So I love trade setups like this because to me, this is a safer way of trading. It's continuing with the main trend, but after a pullback. Really, really great way of trading. Look, I've took trades like this, and if I went back through my membership site, I took a buy trade here. Really good because it worked, but it is certainly more high risk because it's trading against this massive downtrend. What I did see on this one, though, to help me is after two strong bearish candles, two indecision weeks in a row, and therefore that was forming what looked like that U shape. And if you note here that this low was higher than that previous low back in February of 2022, so it formed a higher low. So although I took this as a reversal trade, it still had some probability behind it. Having said all that, this particular type of setup here to me is far, far stronger. If you wanted to see another great example of that, there are two classic, what I call Forex Trading Coach A-grade setups here. Over back here. And again, it doesn't matter. This is 2022. It doesn't matter. Look at the pattern. Look at the setup. This is a reversal trade, which we took. This is a continuation trade that we took. So we took a sell, and a few weeks later, we took a buy. Both on the same pair, both on the same time frame, and profited from both. So the difference here for you to learn for a reversal pattern is, first of all, you want a strong uptrend, then you want indecision, and then you want confirmation of a reversal. For a sell trade, ideally around the upper Bollinger Band, and that's exactly what we had there. So I took a sell trade and we rode this down, and within the first week, it hit the profit. Nothing on that next week. Then the week after, a classic. This is my bread and butter trade here. This is an absolute, for me, the way I trade, this is an absolute no-brainer. This is, this is like a 7, 8, 9 out of 10, profitable trade here, because this is a continuation. So now I'm looking at the overall uptrend, the pullback, the U shape off the middle Bollinger Band, a trend line breakdown through here. Good strong close, looking to continue the uptrend after the pullback, and my profit target was hit within the first candle. I didn't need to break the upper Bollinger. I didn't need to break these swing highs. So that to me there is a great example of reversal off the upper band, continuation. And now down here, reversal of the bottom band, and now continuation. So just wanted to share those. They are some really high quality setups, these two here, really, really high quality. So those are the weekly chart trades that I've taken. While we're on weekly, I know there's been some feedback for people looking to see how last week's weekly chart trades went. They were very good, very successful. So let me just open up here. Let's start with this Mexican yen. This trade, if you look back through from, this would be number 7. So you look back at number 5 last Monday on the trade zone number 5, you'd have seen me taking a sell trade on the Mexican yen. That hit my profit target, as you can clearly see. It just made a beautiful trade, really good. I'm not going to explain the exact setup here right now. Just wanted to follow up with the results of that. You can go back and watch video number 5 to see that one. So that's the first one there. The Singapore yen also in here. Again, I explained all about this trade. Took a sell trade there, and despite this gap down, got filled, and then it went and hit the profit target. So that was a great trade there. The US Mexican was another, again, reversal trade this time, off the bottom Bollinger Band. We had a perfect retracement entry. So my market order and my retracement order both hit the profit target in one candle there. Again, go watch video number 5. You'll see that one being shown as well. And the last trade on the weekly from last week was the Canadian yen, which is in here. And again, profit target was profit target's not quite been hit on this one. I'm still in on this one, sorry. Not on this account here, but on my main trading account. But this got filled beautifully, and the trade is still in the market. So I'm looking for this today and heading into next week to continue falling. Bearing in mind, Tuesday is a public holiday in Japan, and the American market and the Canadian market is not just open yet. So I'd still anticipate this to fall further. So really, really good trades there. Talking about holidays and public holidays and things like that, you can have a look at the Eightcap client portal. Really, really good client portal here with their economic calendar. You can see day by day on here, and you can also identify whether you want to look at the high impact announcements or which currencies it's most likely to affect. Plus, there's this news impact information on here. So really, really good information for you to be able to look through. You can scroll through day by day. You can see when there's holidays. You can see all sorts of things on here. So that is a fantastic piece of useful information there. And Eightcap just kindly put that in the comments tab. So if you're on here live watching or watching the recording, you can go and take a look at that link they just posted. Right. So the other trades that I've been sharing with you since the very beginning are the monthly chart trades. So let's go and have a look at those. The US yen's getting a little bit close to my stop loss. It's still in. It has pulled back quite considerably. And so my limit order has been filled. Although right now it's not looking quite so good. I'm anticipating that this is now going to start to push back up as we head into this week. So that's the US yen. The US Danish kroner, that had a perfect, absolute perfect retracement entry last week. And now I'm looking for this to start to head back up as well. So that's the US yen and US Danish kroner, both buy trades. And I've got the US Chinese yuan, which is a buy trade also. That is in here. Again, that had a perfect retracement entry to my limit order. Go and have a look, watch a video number 1 where I explained a lot of detail, because that video number 2, sorry, because this was at the beginning of the week, beginning of the month even, back on the 1st. You can watch me give a detailed explanation about why these monthly charts were all taken. This trade is now in profit, although it's still bearish. That's the beauty of entering limit orders. And we also have the US Mexican, which was sorry, that's the weekly chart trade. The other three here are the Euro US on the monthly, which is in here. So I can see from last week, let me just remove these levels here to make this easier for you to see. There we go. So this was three levels that I put on here from last week. And you can see in here, that's my limit order. The trade is just in some profit. I'm now anticipating this is going to fall. The Euro Hong Kong dollar. Again, I'll just remove these daily pivot points and support and resistance levels. So they have gone, hopefully, there they go. Makes that a bit clearer for you to see. This is got a beautiful retracement entry. And again, this is still a bullish candle, but I'm in profit selling it because my limit order has been filled absolutely perfectly there. And the last of the monthlies is on silver against the US. And that's over here towards the end of the charts. There it is there. This one has had a good retracement entry, and it's now just a slight negative for me on my open trade because it's actually gone a little bit further than I was anticipating, but it is still in the market. I've got a pretty decent stop loss up here above the 2350, so it's still got a way to go. And my anticipation here based off the monthly chart here is that we're now going to get a pullback again to keep that sell trade in the market. Eightcap have also put on here, you can register for some information on there. Have a look at the live market update webinars that they put on there for you in the comments tab. So there are my trades for today. The monthlies, most of those are still open. The weeklies last week did incredibly well. No daily charts for today, but 3 weekly chart trades taken today. So what I'll do on Wednesday is I will follow up with you and the monthly again and the 3 weekly chart trades from today. So that's the sell on the franc yen, a sell on the US Thai baht, and a sell on the US Singapore dollar. Those 3 trades are weekly chart trades for this week. So on Wednesday, we'll cover those. Plus what I will do is I will cover any daily trades or shorter time frame chart trades that I take myself on Tuesday. And hopefully on Wednesday, we'll also have some daily trades as well to cover. So that's our update for today, being Monday, the 20th of March. I hope you've enjoyed being here. Thank you very much. I'm really enjoying these sessions. Thank you once again to Eightcap for hosting them and for inviting me here for the month of March. And any questions, as always, please type them in and ask on the recording, and I will then cover those for you on Wednesday's session. So once again, this is Andrew Mitchem here at the Forex Trading Coach. I'll see you on Wednesday, and we'll cover some more trades for you then. Bye for now.